Right, chaos in the Kwathema township in Ekurhuleni. Residents there have just tried to loot a ShopRite supermarket. They've been protesting the entire weekend because they haven't had electricity since last Wednesday. eNCA reporter Manqoba Mchunu is on the ground to give us an update. Manqoba, I see you in front of that ShopRite. What happened?
Well, Masiko, what you're hearing is that a group of protesting community members had come here and, of course, trying to make their way into the ShopRite. And we're told that they then broken into the liquor shop here in this particular area. We're in the Mthembu section, called Mthembu Village, rather, Masiko, where this incident occurred. You recall that the shops here have been closed due to this protest, the shutdown that had been taking place here in this community. And some of the community members across Kwathema have been protesting in the different areas, and we're told that a group of them had come here. They'd been hoping to loot this particular ShopRite, but they only managed to get inside the liquor shop here. As you can see, Masiko, these are the visuals of that liquor shop that has been broken into. The community members, you understand, had gone inside here. They had then started looting some of the items here inside this liquor shop. They were stole several, alcohol bottles that were here in this shop. They also vandalized some of those shelves, as you can see there. But we understand that private security managed to come fast here and responded fast to that complaint and that incident that had been happening here, and they managed to stop those protesting community members from continuing and going further with the looting spree that was taking place here. And of course, it's not the first looting that we're hearing of. We're told that some shops were also looted in White City earlier on, and this, as this shutdown continues here in this community with no signs really, Masiko, of ending anytime soon. The community members insisting that they are going to continue with this protest up until their demands are met. You can see there, Masiko, that there's been quite a extensive damage inside this shop, and many of the bottles here are broken on the floor, and some of them, of course, have been stolen by community members. And we're told that they're still there. They're still outside. They're still lurking here just to try and perhaps see if they can come back here. But the private security has been called in. The police have also arrived here on the scene. But also, Masiko, in terms of the violence that has taken over this protest, earlier on we saw a community care center here in Kwathema being burned down by community members. They took ownership of it, saying that they are angry about the issue of electricity, and they want this issue to be addressed, which is the reason why they have burned down that particular care center. But luckily, we understand that no one was injured in that incident, and we saw emergency personnel also arriving on the scene and dealing and trying to douse the flames there, Masiko, and they managed to douse those particular flames. Well, the manager of the shop is here, but he cannot speak to us because we're told that we have to speak to the chain itself, a ShopRite chain, to get comment on what has happened here. But the situation, Masiko, I can tell you, remains tense here. The community members are still outside here, and some of them, of course, are across the township of Kwathema. We're told that some of them are even planning to go and disrupt traffic on the N17, but we understand there are also going to be meetings that are going to be held by these community members as well as community leaders, just to try and get a sense of what's going to happen to this shutdown. Earlier on, the MMC for roads and transport was here in the area. He had been trying to address the residents about their concerns, their electricity concerns, but he was told that he cannot address these residents. They told him that they want the MMC of energy here in Ekurhuleni to come and address them. They rejected him, and they told him that he needed to leave the area. So he had to leave the area, and the protest so far, it does continue, Masiko. And I can tell you that just driving around here is difficult, even because most of the streets here are barricaded with rocks. Most of them are barricaded with burning tires, and community members insisting that they are going to continue.